Millions of Nigerian children are facing poor living conditions, starvation, and life-threatening diseases. Chicago Bears player Idonije, along with his foundation, wants to see change.
There's no middle class. That's the major issue. So there's those with money and wealth, and then there's those in the areas where we go to who have absolutely nothing.
Teaming up with 11 medical personnel, Idonije's foundation headed for the worst parts of Nigeria.
This year it took 3 times the amount of medical supplies we took last year. So we took all the supplies in, we loaded and stocked the pharmacy with everything we had.
Items so easily attained by some can be life-changing for others.
The people in the community, the head of the hospital, said it was the first time he's ever seen, 2 doctors in the hall having a conversation overlooking something. Just story after story, people coming in. It's the total trip, 4 medical clinics. They saw 1,050 patients. So it was very, very rewarding and a success. So in this one situation, I was spinning a child, and this young man had been crying in the front row. So I was like, all right, just let me pick him up. I picked him up to spin him, and all the other kids, started to gasp, like, oh. I looked, and he had this, quarter-sized, gash underneath his foot. And Natalie took him from me, took him to see our head pediatric doctor, looked at his foot, cut up a bunch of dead skin, and it just really kind of reaffirmed the shoe component of the trip.
42% of Nigerian children have serious infections from not wearing shoes.
All these little kids running around barefooted, rough conditions, the ground's very, just jagged rocks everywhere. And, it's just every day, their whole lives may never have a pair of shoes. So to be able to bring, all those shoes, distributed all of them, was just very rewarding.
In 2 weeks, over 1,200 pairs of shoes were distributed.
That's the whole reason why you're there. If you can just change one life, it makes it all worth it.
Breaking into their new shoes, Idonije strapped them up into pads and introduced them to the game that made him successful.
Chicago Youth Football donated 40 sets of equipment. We sent 20 to Lagos, 20 to Abuja. We put the kids in helmets and pads for the first time. They ran around, had a lot of fun. It was just fun to watch.
Go!
The introduction of a new game, a new sport to them. At the end of the camp, some of the kids saying, I want to play this game. I think I can play this game, and it was just a lot of fun. And that's what it is. Just let these kids come out and enjoy themselves, and then continue to reinforce that despite that they're orphans, that doesn't limit their success.
There's no reason that any of you here, there's no reason at all that you can't become whatever you want to be who you want to be.
To really embrace the understanding that there was no limits to who they could become, whatever they wanted to be. I told them, hey, I was born here in Nigeria. I left when I was 4. This is the same place where you're living, and look where I am. It hasn't been easy, but I had to go get my dreams, go get what I wanted, and it's no different for you. If you want it, you can't, just sit around. You have to go get it and do what's right.
My education works very hard so I can better myself, so I can be successful. A lot of work, studies, all those things. The same path that I took to be successful is available for you.
When I look back and just kind of the road I've been on, and the journey's not over, but I'm so fortunate to going into my 8th year in the NFL, be on a great team, a team that just has supported me in a lot of things that I've done. Great family, be able to give back to the community, Canada, here in Chicago, in Nigeria. I'm so fortunate.